AITI for telling my nephew that his birthday present was sold behind his back. I'm angry but would like perspective. Throwaway because family uses Reddit. I am unmarried and do not have children, so I don't understand this situation from a parent's standpoint. I have a niece, K 21, and a nephew, Joe 16. My sister and her husband have spent the last few years, since the pandemic started, trying to get K sorted. By that I mean she has a lot of unexplained ailments. They've been seeing specialists, chiropractors, acupuncture, etc. To this day, I'm still not entirely sure what is wrong. Kay posts on social media a lot about feeling fatigued, having migraines, weakness, and other symptoms, along with her various appointments. Personally, I worry this is being driven by attention because it has become her entire personality. I try to help Kay when I can. I've taken her to a few appointments because she doesn't drive. But I've tried to be present mostly for Joe, who is overshadowed by all of this. Joe is a very simple young man and doesn't ask for much, but I can tell he wants some attention. He makes this known by pushing himself in sports, getting the best grades, getting a job, and trying to be as independent as possible. He's 16 but acts 20. It kind of sucks to watch. For his birthday, I bought 2 tickets to a football game and transferred them to my sister so that she or her husband could take him. I told them that if they absolutely couldn't, then I would, but they accepted the tickets. Fast forward a couple weeks later, and I see a post from my sister selling 2 football game tickets, and they were very quickly bought. I confronted her and said those tickets were for Joe. Her response was they needed help covering new allergy testing for Kay, and that's what the money would be used for. I took Joe to lunch yesterday and asked him how he is really doing. He was honest and said he doesn't feel like an equal member of his family, and I told him I see it too. I asked him why he agreed to sell his birthday tickets and learned he never did and never even knew anything about them. I told him the sequence of events. He was quiet for a bit and then sighed and accepted it. To my surprise, he must have said something to his parents because they called me for a conversation, accusing me of being in awe and saying I hurt Joe's feelings and that he was better off not knowing. I disagree wholeheartedly, but am open to other perspectives. Am I in the wrong? And yes, I am trying to buy new tickets for Joe. Relevant comments.
Not in the wrong. You should have taken him. Hindsight is 20/20.
I agree. I told them specifically it was for one of them to spend some damn time with him, and if they absolutely couldn't, then I would. Gladly, of course, but my hope was they would take the free opportunity. Op adds a couple examples of Kay's manipulation. Most recent I can think of was July 4. We were having a cookout, and she said she was not feeling well and wanted to walk to the convenience store to buy Pepto or something. I can't remember, but she'd left her wallet at home. She asked me for $10, which I gave her. She asked Joe for $10 too, but he pointed out to her that I'd already given it to her. She said she forgot, though it hadn't even been 5 minutes. When she came back, she had a white claw, or something. I asked how she got it without her wallet, and she said she ended up finding her wallet, but she still used my $10 to buy medicine. I didn't raise the issue further, but it was one of a few that I haven't appreciated being involved in or hearing about. Their collective efforts to help Kay be comfortable and figured out is what is leading to this and other issues for Joe. He spent his 15th birthday at home by himself all day because Kay made a slew of appointments for the same date. And even though it only takes one of them to drive her, they both insist on going to as many as they can together. That's why I wanted one of him to take him to the damn game. Unfortunately, the pattern I've seen emerge is that instead of Kay recognizing how much Joe is cast aside, she doubles down on needing both of their attention very, very frequently. Update. I'll try to respond to people as I can. I spoke with Joe individually today. I'm not surprised. but he said he confronted them because he wanted them to give me the money back. As usual, the kid is thinking of others. While I don't want to be accused of trying to turn him against his parents, I do want to follow his lead in regards to him potentially staying with me. That said, I am going to make more of an effort to spend more time with him. As far as Kay is concerned, I know her health issues are very real, and I want more than nothing for her to feel well. However, she has been behaving manipulatively towards her parents, grandparents, myself, and Joe for a while now. Again, I worry that how she is dealing with her ailments is unhealthy for her and the family. We all support her and do what we can to support her and help her to be well. Update: Reddit surprised me with some very thoughtful perspective recently, so I am trying my luck again here. I want to have a conversation with my sister, 40F, her husband, 44M, and their daughter, 21F. The issues are twofold. First, my niece is coping with some health challenges. I am deeply concerned that her use of social media to share health updates and the attention she receives is doing some harm and is changing the way she treats members of the family. Second, I have concerns regarding how my sister and her husband are parenting. To respect this sub, I won't share more about that. There is another post elsewhere if more context is desired. To respect this sub, please limit feedback to addressing the three adults. My sister and I are very close. She comes to me for advice when she and her spouse have their spats. She vents to me, and I love her dearly. That said, at times she uses me being unmarried and having no children against me, usually if I share advice she disagrees with or when it wasn't asked for. What are some ways I can have an honest discussion, not maliciously, while also emphasizing that I want to help and be supportive? Concerning Joe and Kay, thank you to those who have taken interest in my family. Many of you have offered very insightful perspectives and have encouraged me to invest more into both Joe and Kay. Kay, I can clarify more of what I mean by being concerned about her behavior. The more and more she has used social media to cope with her ailments, the more down she is, and I worry it's becoming an obsession. Recently, we had a dinner with some other extended family members, and she was talking to them about her health struggles. I noticed her showing them her social media and the comments she is receiving. She was disengaged from any discussion that was not about her and her health, which drove her back to social media. It worries me greatly. I asked her if there is anything she still likes to do for fun, and she gave me some ideas. Her grandmother and I would like to organize some things to get her out of the house to enjoy herself. Joe, I have asked him more about how he is treated at home, and I am concerned. Some of you were worried about his money being taken. He said he has not had any withdrawals from his account. However, he said he is asked regularly to go to the store to get certain medicines or food/beverages to help Kay feel better, and is not compensated. Additionally, they supposedly have a rule that once you are working, you pay for your own cell phone bill. I fully agree with this. However, Joe has been footing Kay's bill as well, as she is not working. I am trying to find another date for him and I to attend a football game together. I am not worried about the money being returned. Money is replaceable, time isn't. It's okay if anyone disagrees. Since this started, I've noticed he is not quite his usual self. He told me today that, as his parents have spent more time with Kay over the last couple of years, it feels to him that they've become a family unit without him. He said last spring they attended family therapy while he was in school, so he could not participate, and it really bothered him. Both Joe and Kay seem defeated, and it pains me to see it. Am I in the wrong for wanting to take my nephew to a football game on a holiday? Update: This issue started when I, 45M, found out that 2 football tickets I bought as a surprise for my nephew, Joe, 16, were sold to pay for his sister, Kay, 21, to see an allergist without him knowing. The tickets were given with the intention that one of his parents would take him, or if they couldn't, I would. I sat down last night with my sister and her husband, 44, and expressed multiple concerns, including Joe being made to pay Kay's portion of the phone bill because he works and she doesn't. Joe being asked regularly to buy medicines, food, and comfort items for his sister with his hard-earned money. Everyone attending family therapy last year while Joe was in school, so he could not be part of it. Going to dinner and movies on nights when Joe is working. The reason I was given for the last issue is that they have to do things based on when Kay feels well, which I understand to a point. Regardless, I laid out these issues to help them see that Joe needs time and attention. They heard me and were a little defensive, but ultimately said they agreed. To make up for the game the first pair of tickets was for, and to make sure he gets someone on one time, I asked if I could take him to a game on Thanksgiving Day. I can get tickets that are affordable through my employer. And while Joe and I would be gone for most of the day, we would hopefully be back for dessert with the family. Initially, they said they would think about it. Today, they called me to once again say I am wrong this time for criticizing them for not spending time with Joe and then taking him away from a family holiday, which they say is hypocritical. Admittedly, out of anger, I said they owe it to the both of us since they sold his tickets and that they'll have to figure out how to give him the attention he needs when it's not simply out of the convenience of it being a holiday. This seemed to give them pause. They are willing to think about it more, but are standing firm that I am in the wrong. What do you say? Am I in the wrong? Advice is also appreciated. Also, I have not asked Joe his opinion, as I do not want to get his hopes up to then be let down again.